What is going on, YouTube? Crobat for the win here today, bringing you an OU battle versus BocciasBattles on YouTube, or BocciasBattles, or whatever the heck his name is. His link's above. He's an awesome Pokemon channel. He's a very small channel, so I highly recommend you look at his channel. He's also a Pokebro of mine, so yeah. Alright, he leads out with Rotom W. I lead off with Tony Danza, who is the boss, by the way. That's not a great matchup because the Will-O-Wisp is really obvious, but instead he's going to go for the sub. So he's a custom set. Unfortunately for him, the sub doesn't work out. He has an electric type move and Hydro Pump, none of which can affect Gastrodon. That works out just fine. I go for Scald because there's really no reason not to on a switch. He goes into Sableye, which takes that relatively well. I'm going to predict its Haunt, so I go into Heatran. Heatran is pretty decent counter to this Sableye. I know it can take away my Choice Scarf and give it a lagging tail, but I just have to play around that. I mean, the thing is here, he now has a Choice Scarf and is locked into a move. That's fine. Alright? That's good. Regardless, my Overheat misses. That would have KO'd. That's bad. Oh well. I go for the Overheat again. May as well. It's going to do a lot of damage to Hippowdon. Really. Wow. It brings it all the way down to red health. Alright, and I know I have the lagging tail at this point. I know he's going to go first, so I'm definitely going to have to switch out. At some point in the battle, I'm going to have to try maybe to get my Choice Scarf back. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. I am going to just go into Excalibur. He predicts that so well and goes for the Ice Fang, and you know, it does nothing. Except he gets the freeze. Boccias, you are just, getting the freeze off the Ice Fang. Sheesh. I mean, that was a great prediction on his part. I will give him that. Well, I'm still frozen. This is really useless. Stupid frozen Latios getting Sandstorm and bleh. Alright, I'm going to go into Heatran, hoping he'll go for the trick. That would make my day. But no, he decides to switch out because he's awesome like that. Goes into his Rotom. Now, I know that my Gastrodon completely walls this thing, but you know, I'm just gonna make sure I'm gonna go for the Dragon Pulse, hoping that I can just break his sub. I know that he doesn't have leftovers, that's pretty obvious, so I just have to get him down low enough so where he can't sub anymore. He might be a resting variant, but that would honestly still be fine. But no, and then I figure out he's a Pain Split variant. That's annoying, but honestly, Gastrodon doesn't mind that too much. He does have Recover. Alright, and that thing can't hurt Gastrodon at all, other than the Pain Split. Alright, that's not the worst thing in the world. He goes into Sableye, which I just get the Scald off on. That is really fine. I mean, I hope to get the burn, I don't. But it still does a solid chunk, and I can just switch out into Heatran, hoping to get my Choice Scarf back. That would just be awesome. Alright, so I do go into Heatran. He does go for the trick, and I get my Choice Scarf back. That worked out quite well. Alright, so gets the Choice Scarf, lagging tail, he gets that thing back. Really, he's going to have to switch out, unless he wants to go for a trick again and die, but that wouldn't be a really good strategy. I go for the Flamethrower because it's a safer move. I know it would KO Hippowdon, I kind of predicted his switch, I knew it would KO anyways. He does now go into his Victini, which is going to be really annoying, because it has the Brick Break. I really thought that I could take any hit from this thing pretty well. Fortunately for me, the Brick Break does absolutely nothing. I kind of thought he'd go for the U-turn, so I stayed in and went for the Flamethrower. That didn't work out all that well, and you know what? He's going to be a boss, predicting my switch now. Go into Ferrothorn. Here I go into Excalibur. Latios, which finally thaws out, and I get a Dragon Dance off. I kind of just clicked a button, because I was thinking that it wasn't going to thaw out. No, that did not happen. He thaws out. That was, I think it was a physical Latios. Dragon Dance. I think it might have Draco Meteor as well. Outrage and Earthquake or something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna obviously threaten that thing out with an Overheat or Flamethrower. He decides to go into Rotom. That's cool. That's fine. Overheat does a pretty nice chunk to that thing. Alright, I do lose some special attack, but that's really not the worst thing in the world, because I can easily switch out. Going to Gastrodon here. Gastrodon, once again, other than the Pain Split, walls this thing completely. He predicts me to stay in here, so he goes for the Thunderbolt. doesn't work out too well for him because I go into YOLO, the Gastrodon. He's going to switch out and go into Sableye. I just go for the Scald. There's no reason not to. That'll definitely finally take out Sableye. That thing can be annoying at times just because it is Prankster. You always have to watch out for it when it has Prankster. Alright, he goes into Ferrothorn now. I'm going to have to switch on out of there, go into Heatran, because that's kind of the most, like, the best switch I can make. Unfortunately, he's a choice-banded Ferrothorn and predicts that so well. You know, Boccias, you're making great plays. Look at that. Alright, I go into this thing now, Terrakion, so I know that the close combat will scare it away. He goes into his Rotom to more or less die as fodder. I predicted that, so I went for the Secret Sword just so my defense wouldn't go down. I really don't need my defense going down at this point. That would just be really bad. Alright, and he goes into Victini, which has about 2/3 of its health. I'm going to decide to go into Gastrodon here, because I thought I could tank some hits from this thing. Decides to go for the Zen Headbutt. That's honestly okay, because as long as Gastrodon isn't flinched in the future, I can stall this thing out. It has, or I have, the Sandstorm on my side. That's all I really need, and I just need to maybe get one Scald off. Maybe. Alright, and here goes the Recover. That's going to bring Gastrodon up to about 60% health after leftovers. That's going to be really helpful. Like I said, I'm just withering that thing down while I'm gaining health, because his Sandstorm actually benefits my Gastrodon a lot. Regardless, he goes into his Ferrothorn. I just go for the Earth Power. I thought it'd be more effective than Scald, and on the off chance he switched, I guess it would do more to Ferrothorn. Scald is not wanting to burn this match, so I really can't bank on that. Regardless, I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go into Caesar, Tony Danza, who's the boss, by the way. Well, sometimes he is. I mean, more often than not, Sam Maselli's the boss, as you saw from hopefully one of my other videos. But in this case, Tony Danza's the boss. Alright, so he's going to have to switch out. He doesn't like that matchup because I potentially have the superpower. He's also locked into Power Whip, which is bad for him. Fortunately for this Magnezone, I don't have the superpower. That's just awful. Very unfortunate. And he's going to go set up subs. His Magnet Pull. Oh, I can't switch. I'm going to have to just hope I can wear this thing down with some... what's it called? At least break his sub with a Bug Bite. That's what they call it. He does have the Hidden Power Fire, but this is pretty bulky, Caesar. Will I be able to live a Hidden Power Fire from a Magnezone? Yes, I can. Tony Danza, you are the boss. And he's able to break the sub with the Bug Bite. That works out quite well. Alright, and here I had to play it safe. I absolutely had to. Alright, the thing is here, if I had gone for a Bullet Punch and he went for a sub, I wouldn't have been able to break it. I needed him to not be behind a sub. I knew a Bug Bite would have been able to at least break the sub because I have the Sword Stance. I couldn't risk that. He does go for the Hidden Power Fire and not the sub, so oh well. I go into Terrakion because I know Terrakion can probably sweep the rest of his team if I'm not, as long as I keep it around. This is a choice Scarf Terrakion. He's the team's champion, as you can see. He's going to take out Magnezone. Now he is going to go into his Victini, which I obviously cannot. I don't think I could KO anyways. I just have to be careful with it. I go into Gastrodon as a result. That's gonna be fine because it's gonna take a Zen Headbutt. When being about, I don't know, yellow health-ish. You know, lose about half of its health from where it's at. After leftovers, I'm hoping I can just live one more with just a few hit points. Alright, Gastrodon, see how much of a beast you are. Yes! You are a beast! Look at that, living 4 HP. Stab Zen Headbutt from a Victini. And wow, I'm guessing that's Scarfed. Just by the way he was playing it. Just gonna make a blind guess. Alright, so I'm sitting at 30 HP against this Ferrothorn. I'm gonna go for the Earth Power just to get some damage. I just need enough damage on this thing where a close combat will for sure KO it. Yeah, there's no reason to not to. I'm just gonna fodder Gastrodon. He did work this match. I can't complain. Great job, Gastrodon. Alright, going into Champion. Gonna go for the winning close combat. Ferrothorn is just gonna go to its punchy death by a Terrakion. That, I'm pretty sure, after those Iron Barbs, which are so significant to this game, will be a great game. So yeah, go check out BocciasBattles and BocciasBattles' YouTube in the channel. description, whatever they call it. Regardless, question of the day. What's your favorite TV show? My favorite TV show, probably Who's the Boss and Arrested Development. They're both really funny comedies. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. Please rate, comment, subscribe if you like this video. It would mean a lot if you did. Also, there's a subscribe button below, because if you like this narration, I do a lot more. There's also a couple of my most recent battles, which I highly recommend you go check out. And that's all for today. Rate, comment, subscribe, Brobats, and peace out.
Closer, Tony Dancer! This is happening! This is happening!